Hello everyone, I am Professor Nainasni, Department of Information Technology, Parvatibai Genba Mosaic College of Engineering, Vakoli. So in this session, we'll just go back with one point. That is, in last session, we have just started the project initiation. That is nothing but generally the start of new project, to define the objective, to define the scope, to define the purpose and the deliverables that is to be produced by the project. So we have discussed we have just stated the 6 steps to initiate the project. These were the 6 steps. The first was to develop a business case. The second was to undertake a feasibility study. The third was to establish a project charter. The fourth was to appoint the project team. Fifth was to set up a project office, and sixth was to perform a phase review. So we'll just little bit go in the depth with each and every step. So the first step, that is the business case, is nothing but to justify the startup of the project. That means it includes the description of the business problem, what opportunity does it has, then the cost, then the benefits and the alternative solution for that business problem. What alternative solutions could we have for defining or for building that particular business problem. So this business case is referred frequently during the project to determine whether the project which is ongoing is in the track or not. Okay, so that is a business case. Business case is nothing but to define the problem statement, to define the opportunity, the cost, benefits and the alternative solution. The second is the feasibility study. That means it is an exercise that involves documenting each and every potential solution for that particular problem. So if there is a one problem on which we are finding the solution, so what the feasibility study does, in the feasibility study we are documenting each and every alternative solution. So the purpose of this feasibility study is to identify one or more solutions for that particular problem, that the solutions are having some answers to that particular business problem. If we are stating the problem which is going to be developed as a software, so whatever feasibility study is there, it should always state the alternative solution, different alternative solution for that particular business problem, which are meeting the requirement of that particular software or for the particular business requirements. The third is the project charter. The project charter is nothing but the outline the purpose of the project. That means we can say just the outline of the purpose. So the way the project will be structured and how it will be successfully implemented. Then the project charter describes the project vision, project objectives, project scope, project deliverables, as well as the stakeholders, some roles and responsibilities of that stakeholders. So the project charter will give the outline of the purpose, why the project is to be developed, how the project will be implemented, what is the vision of that particular project, what are different objectives of that particular project, what is the scope and what is the deliverables, and also some roles and responsibility of your project or the stakeholders. Then third one is appoint the project team. Now depend on the job description, depend on the different responsibilities that the project is having, we are giving job to different persons. Okay, so depend on that particular job description, we are hiring the peoples and we are building the team. So the project team will contain the different persons of the different job description. Someone will be on the Java, someone will be on HTML, someone will be on the middleware, someone will be the tester. So depend on the job responsibility, we are dividing the certain tasks, certain jobs to certain people, and according to that we are having the project team. Now the project office, depending on the size of the project, we are having the project office. Might be it will be a whole company, might be it will be just a floor, might be it will be a simple one room. So depend on the checklist of that project, we are setting our project office, which will include the infrastructure and also some supportive technologies that need to be while we are developing a project. And the last one is the phase review. So the phase review is nothing but each and every time we are having the phase review in project developing process. That is nothing but the assessment of the status of that project. At the particular point, of each and every phase, we are having this phase review to assess whether we are going on the track, whether we are meeting with the requirements that is stated in the business case or not. The first time in the project life cycle, the project review is undertaken at the time of initiation, means at the starting only. During this project review, a decision is to be made to whether or not the team has met the objective and is approved to proceed the next phase. Okay. So whenever we are having a phase review, we are always assessing the different objective of the different teams and whether they have approved or not. If they have approved, they have completed the particular things into that particular phase, then we are moving to the next stage. Else we are again assessing the project, we are again allocating some resources, some time to that particular process, and unless and until that process is complete. So this assessment is done for each and every phase, for initial phase, for planning phase, for modeling phase, construction and deployment. Each and every phase we are planning the phase review by the different peoples. Okay, so this was the 6 steps that was developing a business case. That means to develop a problem statement and description. Second is the feasibility study, to study the alternative solutions that meets the requirement which are stated in a business case. Then establish a project charter, that is nothing but outline of your purpose of the project. So we'll have different vision, we will have the project vision, objectives, scope and deliverables under the project charter. Then we will have the appoint the project team. So depend on the job description, we'll appoint the different persons, different people into the team. We'll form a team, that is appoint a team. Then fifth one is the setup of the project office. Depending on the project size, we will have the infrastructure plus the technologies which are required for that project will set up in the project office. And sixth one is to perform a phase review. To assess the quality for each and every phase, we will have a phase review by the different persons. That may be a technical persons, the technical team, or maybe a managerial review. Okay. So this is the project initiation. Whenever the question is asked about the project initiation or instantiation, that you have to mention these 6 steps and you have to give the brief of the same. So we'll move with the next point, that is the work breakdown structure. So the work breakdown structure defines all the things a project need to be accomplished, organized into the multiple levels and displayed graphically. So there are different activities, there are different tasks under the same project or a single project. So the interdependency among the different tasks is called as a work breakdown structure. We are arranging that particular that different task into graphical model. That is nothing but your work breakdown structure. The work breakdown structure can be also defined for the single function, or we can define it for the whole project. So this is the one fundamental, there is a one fundamental feature of the work breakdown structure, that it describes the deliverable. Deliverable means the product, okay, not the action. If you take the example of the bicycle, then work breakdown structure can be divided into the multiple tasks. It may be a seat, it may be your different parts of your cycle. So the work breakdown structure will define the bicycle seat. Okay, so that is deliverable. It will not define the actions which are required to build the bicycle seat. Okay, you will have a brief idea about the work breakdown structure in the next slide, because we are having an example there. So in short, we can say that the work breakdown structure is nothing but the hierarchy, the interdependency among the various tasks, that is called as a work breakdown structure. We can also define for a single function or for a whole product. It is nothing but listing the different tasks under the some superior task or some subtask. So let's see the example. So here there is an example of bicycle. Okay, these 100 are nothing but the hours which are required to build this particular product. WBS, that is nothing but the work breakdown structure level 1. At the level 1 the whole product is there. At the level 2 the product is divided into the 7 subproducts. Okay, 7 subparts. So each part is having some particular hours to complete. Suppose frame set is having 15, crankset is having 5, wheels are having 30 hours, braking system will require 5 hours, shifting system will require 5 hours, integration will require 35 hours, and project management will require the 5 hours. So that total is 100. So whenever you are defining a product with particular hours, 100 should be matched with each and every subsystem's hours 100. Okay, that means if we are building a product, that is a bicycle, if you are developing a product, that is a bicycle, the number of hour should be equal to the number of subset activities, and the time required for that subset activities should be equal to each and every level task. Suppose level 1 is having 100 tasks, level 2's sub activity should also have the 100 hours, level 3 sub activities should also have the 100 tasks. But see, when the bicycle is at the level 1, the different parts of this bicycle will be having at the level 2. Okay, in the level 2, that is bicycle 1.1 is a frame set. Again, the frame set is divided into the 4 activities, that is a frame, handlebar, fork, and the seat. Okay, so this 15 hour is again divided into the 4 sections, that is a frame will have the 7, handlebar will have 2 hours, fork will have 3, and seat will have 3 hours to develop. So this 15 will be matched with this 4. Then the crankset is just as it is 5. Then wheel is again divided into 2 parts. The front wheel will require 13 hours and rear wheel will require the 17 hours. Again the total is 13. Same as for each and every sub activity, the total hours required to develop that sub activity should be equal to the particular level's activity. Now this is the frame set, require the 15 hours to complete. Again frame set is divided into sub activity, which will again require 15 hours to complete a particular sub activity. Okay, so again the total of that particular activities are 100. This is 100 and this all totals are 100. So likewise the scheduling is done. Okay, I hope this is a very basic thing to understand, and I hope you all have understood it. So you may take level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 up to which you can comfortable with. Okay, but the number of calculations should be same. Here is the next example in which the project initiation phase is there. Yeah, instantiation phase is there. Then there is a planning phase. There is execution phase and close out phase. So again it is divided into the number of subtasks. Again the project charter development is divided into the number of subtasks. Now this project initiation is the first phase, under which we have 2 different main phases, that is a requirement gathering and analysis, and second is a project charter. Again these sub events are divided into the sub events, that is a 1.1.1 define the process for gathering the requirement, documentation, your analysis and requirement gathering. Again the sub activity, that is a project charter, is divided into the next sub activities. So likewise we are developing the project work breakdown structure for the market research project. You may be asked in the example, the example about anything. It may be for market research, it may be your Java files or simple saving the files into the computer system and anything. So you may be eligible. You can you should write the breakdown structure. You should draw the breakdown structure, depend on as per your knowledge. So the planning stage should be at the upper level, the middle stage should be at the second level, and the sub stage should be at the third level. But whenever you are writing some hours, it should be calculated as same. The project initiation, suppose 10, then 5 hours, then the 5 hours should be divided into this middle stage. Okay, so I hope this diagram is understandable by all the students. If you have any query, you can comment in a comment section, else you can ask me a Zoom section. Thank you.